Hey everyone, how are we all doing today? Today is the morning of Tuesday, September 30th. Tomorrow's October, everyone. Holy crap. That's crazy. That just means we're a week closer to The Flash and Arrow next week. I can't wait. And next week is Comic Con. It's going to be a crazy week for me. Anyway, last night was another episode of Gotham, everyone. Oh boy. This show is really kicking ass. I was skeptical about it at first when they announced this show last year. But it's I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. Uh, this episode was titled Selina Kyle. We all know who Selina Kyle is. She's Catwoman. And we met her. Well, we saw a girl in the pilot last week who everyone thinks is Selina Kyle. She goes by Cat in this episode. Anyway, in this episode, we're actually seeing some Bruce time too. After what happened with his parents last week, um, he's starting to do some questionable things to conquer his fear. And in the scene where he burns his hand with a candle, we actually see a more intimidating, more tough side to Alfred in this show, and it's different. I actually like it because in the shows we just see kind of like a. I mean, not in the shows. In the movies, we kind of just see a butler, um, with a voiced opinion. But in this one, he's a father figure. He has to, be tough with a young kid. So anyway, this whole episode is got to do with like this couple that's kidnapping like homeless kids, off the streets, and we see a young Selena. She's playing with like a necklace, and it kind of reminds you of like a cat playing with a ball of yarn. Because she's whacking at it. It was actually pretty funny. But yet again, she witnesses a murder, and with this murder, who gets, of course, Gordon and Bullock. And at the crime scene, we see yet again Gordon, being a hothead with some of the other cops. It's great how Ben McKenzie is portraying Gordon in this show. He's really got it down. It's pretty damn good. Um, Not only that, but side story that's going to play more into next week's episode. Cobblepot, he's on the road. He's out of Gotham after Gordon let him go at the end of last week's episode. He's being psychotic as ever, and really, taking his name, into effect. The Penguin that we all know. He took out like some frat guys or something like that. Anyway, while our boys Bullock and Gordon trying to figure out these murders and the kidnappings, Edward Nigma, you know, being some sort of consultant, he sneaks his way into the office, and he actually mentions this drug that was used in the murder. Um, the drug was first used in Arkham. It was the first time Arkham was mentioned in the show, and yeah, I think we're actually going to see like an actually Arkham Asylum, and who knows, maybe we'll see some other DC villains and DC characters, stuff like that. Um, Speaking of which, during a confrontation between Mooney and Falcone about like her plans on trying to take him down, stuff like that. In response, he brings her bartender over and asks, what's your name? He says Laszlo. Right then and there, I'm like, wait a minute, that name sounds familiar. So I checked the name. Turns out, Laszlo is the alias for Professor Pig. And, Falcone's men just beat him down to a pulp, basically, in front of Mooney. So who knows if we're going to see him again. That could be interesting if we see Pig again. That'd be interesting. And during one of the scenes, actually, another DC reference is mentioned. The woman that's involved with these abductions and the kidnappings mentions to another guy, that the doll maker needs these kids ASAP, kind of thing. And we've seen the doll maker already. He was in an episode of Arrow last season, and who knows? Maybe we'll see a different version of him on Gotham. Who knows? Maybe. Anyway, Gordon and Bullock find this pharmacy where the kids are held and everything, and the people got away, but they saved the kids, and then the mayor has this stupid ass idea to send all of them to juvie, and of course the busload of kids that are going up there to juvie. Of course, one of them is Selina Kyle, and who intercepts this busload of kids? Those crazy, people who were working for the doll maker. And, of course, Selina Kyle getting into trouble. We see her, become the anti-villain we all know from the comics and everything. Scratching out men's eyes with her claws, and, saving the kids and everything. It's crazy, We're seeing foreshadowing so much in this episode. So anyway, towards the end of the episode, Alfred actually comes to visit Gordon at work because he feels like Bruce should that he should talk to Bruce. So at the end, that does happen, and they talk about his adventure, or Bruce mentions it's his adventures in the newspapers. And he says, I wish I could do something for these kids, let me give them some clothes. So, at the very end, Selina Kyle wants, to talk to James Gordon, And she says, you keep me out of juvie, and I know who killed, the Wayne family, Martha and Thomas Wayne. And he's like, wait, what? You know who killed him? So that's going to all factor into next week's episode. Which next week's episode is called The Balloon Man. I'm not sure if that's an actual character in DC. I'm not sure about that one. But in this, we actually see a man in a pig mask. Another foreshadowing to Professor Pig, so who knows? He's actually killing, dirty cops. We're seeing Cobblepot, growing more dangerous and more psychotic as ever, and Gordon is still searching for the Wayne killers. So this show is really coming along, guys. I can't wait. So that's about it for me. Comment or share if you want down there, and I will see you all later. Bye.